The high sign.
The high sign? Okay, we're going to start to record, not broadcast, but anyway, welcome to the March 31st public meeting on two draft bylaws. They are the humane care and treatment of domesticated animals and dogs, dog licenses, dog kennels, and dog complaints. So we are waiting for some of the public to come in and join us and listen to their comments. But by way of, I'll just introduce everyone who's here tonight and thank them for being here. We have three members of the Bylaw Review Advisory Committee: Virginia A. Hart, Christine Files, myself, Francine Tishman, and then we have our two subject matter experts and those who are, I can think, on the front line with these issues, and that's Police Chief Ian Illingsworth and Nicole Fletcher, our animal inspector. So these are the folks who are here and ready to hear comments if there's anything out there. So I think what we'll do is we'll suspend the recording for now, ask that they do that until, pardon?
I suggest you read them, and if
Read them?
anybody actually doesn't come but is interested, they'll actually hear what they are. My suggestion.
Okay. All right. I don't think everyone wants to listen to me all night, so do we have a volunteer who wants to read the humane care, the one-pager?
I'll try that, sure. Why not?
Okay.
Okay. So this would be a new bylaw, if I'm not mistaken, right? This doesn't
Yes.
exist right now. So it would be theoretically Article 15 in our general bylaws, humane care and treatment of domestic animals. And Section 1, domesticated animals, for the purpose of this bylaw, are defined by the Mass Division of Fisheries and Wildlife, 321 CMR 9.023, and includes, but is not limited to, dogs, cats, or any animal which is kept for companionship and entertainment. Section 2, every owner or keeper of domestic animals shall provide their animals with sufficient potable water, food, proper shelter, and protection from the weather, including extremes of heat and cold. Owners shall also provide veterinary care sufficient to prevent suffering and the spread of disease, and shall provide humane care and treatment for the animals as specified in Mass General Law, Chapter 140, Sections 174E. Section 3, in accordance with Mass General Law, Section 140, 174F, it shall be a violation of this bylaw to confine an animal in a motor vehicle in a manner that could reasonably be expected to threaten the health of the animal due to exposure to extreme heat or cold. Animals should not be left outdoors for extended periods of time when owners or keepers are not home to care for or monitor them. Section 4, no owner or keeper shall abandon any animal. For the purpose of this section, abandonment shall be defined as the willful desertion of an animal, which shall include, but not be limited to, the failure to claim an impounded animal upon receipt of notice that the period of impoundment has ended. And lastly, Section 5, any person who violates this bylaw as determined by the Southampton Police Department and/or the animal inspector shall be liable to a penalty fee for each violation established by the Select Board, in parentheses, see fee penalty schedule, end parentheses. That's it.
Okay. All right. So thank you, Chris. That was the entirety of this bylaw on humane care and treatment of domesticated animals. So I think it's pretty straightforward. All right, let's move on to the next article. And just let me add that this is a consolidation of several existing articles into one, all dealing with different aspects of dogs. So we combined a couple of different articles in the bylaws, and it now created Article 16, which is entitled Dogs, Dog Licenses, Dog Kennels, and Dog Complaints. So I'll read Section 1, and if we go down the line, we can each take turns reading a section. To my right, starting with Ian. Okay, Section 1, Dogs. No person owning a dog shall permit such dog to be off-leash on town property. Section 1B, such owner or keeper of a dog which is not on the premises of the owner or upon the premises of another person with the knowledge and permission of such person shall be required to have said dog under his complete control at all times. This bylaw does not apply to licensed hunting dogs owned by a licensed hunter while engaged in the sport of hunting or training for such hunting. This bylaw also does not apply to dogs engaged in herding farm animals. Section 1C, no dog should be permitted off its owner's property or onto other person's property without that person's knowledge or permission. Any such person shall be required to have said dog under control at all times. And then finally, section 1D, any person walking a dog should make provisions for the proper disposal of animal waste. Okay.
Article 16, Section 2, titled Dog Licenses, under Mass General Law, Chapter 140, Section 137. Section 2A, the owner or keeper of a dog over the age of 6 months shall purchase a license annually for the 12-month period of April 1st to March 31st. Section 2B, dog owners must obtain a license within 30 days of obtaining their new dog. Section 2C, a licensing authority shall not grant a license for a dog unless the owner of the dog provides the licensing authority with a veterinarian certification that the dog has been vaccinated for rabies, or that such dog is exempt from the vaccination requirement, or a notarized letter from a veterinarian that either of these certifications was issued relative to such dog in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 140, Section 145B. Section 2D, the owner or keeper of a licensed dog shall securely attach such tag to the dog's collar. If the tag becomes lost, the owner or keeper of the dog shall immediately secure a substitute tag from the licensing authority. Did you get that?
Yes.
Yep.
Section 2E, every license issued to the owner of a dog shall have a description of the symptoms of rabies printed thereon. Such description shall be supplied by the Mass Department of Public Health. Section 2F, any person who violates this bylaw as determined by the Southampton Police Department shall be liable to a penalty fee for each violation established by the Select Board. See attached fee penalty schedule. And Section 2G, no dog held in the custody of the animal control facility shall be released unless and until it is properly licensed by the town clerk. All costs associated with the dog's detention by animal control must be paid in full by the owner before the dog is released.
Okay. Nicole?
Okay, Article 16, Section 3, dog kennels. A kennel is defined as a collection of dogs on a single premise, including a commercial, boarding, training, hunting, sale, breeder, domestic, charitable, corporation kennel, personal kennel, or veterinary kennel. See Mass General Law, Chapter 140, Section 137A for additional definitions applicable to this law. B, a kennel license is required for more than 4 dogs that are 6 months of age or older. Mass General Law, Chapter 140, Section 136A. The registering, numbering, describing, and licensing of a dog or dog kennel shall be conducted annually with the town clerk's office. Kennel licensing dates shall be the same as official licensing, April 1 to March 31. C, no kennel license shall be issued by the town clerk as licensing authority under the provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 140, Section 137A, unless the applicant for such license shall first comply with the following requirements. Each dog in said kennel shall be provided with an enclosure and runway, the enclosure to have a floor space of at least 3 feet by 4 feet for each dog and a height of at least 4 feet, and the runway to have an area of at least 3 feet by 10 feet for each dog and a height of at least 4 feet. D, no owner or keeper of a dog that is part of a commercial kennel as defined in Mass General Law, Chapter 140, Section 136A, shall allow such dog to go unrestrained outside its enclosure or runway at any time. E, any person who violates any of the provisions of Article 16, Sections 1 and 2 of the town bylaws shall be penalized for each offense in the manner provided by Mass General Law, Chapter 140, Section 137A.
Okay, thank you. And Virginia?
Section 4, dog complaint hearings. Dog complaint, Section or A. A written complaint must be submitted to the Select Board by the plaintiff within 10 days of each occurrence. The complainant shall provide names, addresses, and contact information. The complainant shall describe the dog and fully identify the name of the owner, and further specify why and how the dog is considered to be a nuisance and/or behaving in a dangerous manner. The complaint shall specify times, dates, and reasons, and provide a list of all individuals who may have knowledge of the issue. B, hearing procedures. Hearings will be conducted in accordance with Chapter 140 of MGL 157 upon a receipt of a request for a hearing at which all individuals involved must be present. The hearing will be included in the agenda for the regular Select Board meeting and held in open session. The town administrator will notify the animal control officer / inspector and all involved persons of the date and time of the hearing, which is to be held within 30 days of the receipt of the complaint. Section C, decision. At the conclusion of the hearing or shortly thereafter, the Select Board may render its decision or take the matter under advisement, announcing the intended date of decision. A copy of the decision will be filed with the town clerk's office. Failure to comply with the Select Board's decision will be referred to the animal control officer or inspector for resolution.
Okay, thank you. And that concludes the reading of both bylaws. And in the absence of any public here to provide us with comment or feedback on these bylaws, we're going to conclude this meeting. But before I do, I'd like to go on the recording to say that we have extended the online comment period until April 8th. That means that individuals who want to read the bylaws and comment on them can access them on the homepage of the town website, which is www.townofsouthampton.org. So I hope that we hear from individuals sometime between now and the 8th. If not, we will go with the version that we have and we'll move it along the process in terms of the next steps that are required. And so with that, with everyone,
I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you, and
We will
you
adjourn.
can stop the recording.